Hello. This is Dr. Kelly and Dr. Renee, and this is week
18, I think, right?
18 of our COVID-19 update. When you come on, please please share, please start a watch party. Please let us know where you're joining us from. So today, oh my God, it's July.
I called it May like 4 times in the last hour. So.
July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. So today we want to talk about 3 ways that you can protect your mental health. And what I've found is that individuals who were kind of on the edge when it came to like anxiety or depression or mental health issues, the pandemic has just pushed them over the edge. So you were telling me about Tamar Braxton.
So Tamar apparently, they found her unresponsive last night, and she had been drinking, and they said taking an unknown amount of prescription pills. So I don't know. It sounds like a suicide attempt to me, and that's what they're thinking. And I pray for her because she is a mother, and she's just she's a very talented human being. She has a lot of siblings. I always tell people, and call me cruel, but I say suicide is one of the most selfish things people can do, because one, God gave us life, and why would I choose to take this life? God can choose that, not me. And 2, you leave all these other people behind. And like I said, she has a child, small child. Then she has her siblings, her parents, and just a whole host of family and friends. And I'm just like, that would be so sad. And I'm glad that that she is alive, and hopefully she can get the help that she needs. But it just coincidentally happened to be that this is the month. This is, Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And also we did speak about, I just got off of blackdoctor.org, and we talked about the young lady that was a writer for This Is Us, the TV show on NBC, the Black woman. She committed suicide, and I believe that was last month. Yeah. And that was so sad too. And it's like you said, if you were already on the edge, this whole pandemic, and I will tell you that lady, I'm pretty sure she was single, and she was in LA quarantining alone. I do believe she is a Chicagoan. And so she was in LA, away from her family, by herself, not being able to leave, you know what I mean? And it was too much. And apparently, I guess people were reading previous posts, and I guess this is something that she had, grappled with for a while. And so then this whole pandemic and actually, like I said, she's a writer for This Is Us. You guys, she honestly writes a lot of the sister's story. The sister, if you don't watch This Is Us, it's about 3 children that 2 of them are actually 2/3 of a triplet. The third one died, and then they adopted a third who was born on the same day. So basically they're kind of triplets, even though one's black, 2 white. Okay. So there's only one girl though. She kind of writes, she was writing her story because she used to be overweight, and the sister's overweight. And the girl has dealt with a whole lot of different issues. And so it's just interesting. I hate to see the irony of the different things that happen on that show, and this poor woman. And she was so beautiful, so sad. But if you were already having issues and you didn't go and talk to somebody about them, this time right now is when you definitely need to go talk to someone. And if you know someone, then you definitely need to go and talk to them, or you need to get them help, because this situation is just not normal. And especially for single people. You guys do realize I literally stayed in my apartment by myself for 14 weeks. The only people I saw was barely the delivery person, because I was making them do contactless. So I would make them knock on the door and leave a package at the door, and then I'd open the door after they left. So I really wasn't even seeing them. I might see a person when I walk to get my mail. I might see a person when I go to the laundry room. But I will tell you, most of the times I did laundry, nobody was in there, which made me feel good because I didn't want to catch anything. But this is not the time to play.
It's not. And feelings of anxiety, worrying about getting sick, you yourself getting sick, or your family members getting sick, have pushed people who have issues with anxiety over the edge. And I was talking to a patient of mine a couple of days ago. He was this older gentleman, and his hobby was collecting pins that you stick on clothing. And he would go to pin shows, like pin conventions. And he told me that he was feeling depressed because things that he used to do before he can't do, things that had meaning to him or for him, he couldn't do anymore. And I just feel like a lot of things that make our lives colorful have been kind of taken away from us. And we have to be a little bit more creative. So one way that I would say to protect your mental health is to get creative in terms of, expressing yourself, finding new hobbies, things that just bring joy to your life. I've been experimenting. I bought some new plants and they're still alive. I tried to get into embroidery. That didn't last for too long. But try to find other things that you can occupy your time
Honestly,
with.
a lot of these places that we used to go have figured out a way to make it safe for us to do. I was invited. Remember the dinner party we did? She did another dinner party and it was a sip and paint. And you just had to place the order ahead of time and they sent the stuff to your house. And it was a virtual sip and paint. So you guys, a lot of things they have tried to pivot and make it so you can still do them. I told you I did Soca Fitness. Soca Fitness is literally a Soca workout that, oh my God, I was drenched afterwards. She did it via Zoom. It was fabulous Soca music and I burned off tons of calories and it was like 50 something other women there too. Right. And we all had our flags. It was just awesome. But there's different things, you have to be creative though. You have to go look. Even at blackdoctor.org, they have a lady that does workouts every morning. But for you to have community, like I said, Zoom is allowing people to do a whole lot of things. I think Alicia's doing a step aerobics on Zoom. There's all sorts of things where you can have community. So it's not just one-to-one. You can actually have a group of people and you guys can sit and talk and maybe you have happy hour. I know several people that have attended happy hour.
Certainly. A lot of us don't have like healthy, like coping skills. And a lot of the things that we would turn to, like going out and partying and drinking and travel, escaping our lives by travel, like we don't have those things anymore. So we kind of have to deal with our crap, right? We're forced to deal with whatever's going on in our lives.
It's a big mirror in our faces, like, hello, you need to fix this.
Yeah. So I would use this time to try to figure out, what you really want out of your life and what changes that you need to make, but come up with more things that you can cope with, because a lot of things you should do before you can't do anymore. Another way to protect your mental health is be mindful of who you surround yourself with.
That is
you have to curate your circle, as in you can't have people around you who are always negative, who are always seeing the glass half empty, right? I mean, we all have our days, but there's some people that always have those days. So you got to be careful not to spend too much time, not to invest too much time. And if you need to like not answer a call or, take some time to yourself so that you can regroup, you need to do that.
Was that your three? That was two, I think.
That was two. I think I heard, I've been listening to lots of motivational talks on my way to work because, a couple of weeks ago, I found myself like slipping. I was like, why do I feel so down? Because I was just tired. It was week 16 or something. And I was like, this needs to stop. Like, when is it stopping? And I said, you know what? I need to start being mindful of what I'm putting into my mind. So first thing I do when I get up in the morning, I turn on some motivational talk or something. And I was listening to Les Brown and he talks about OQP, only quality people.
I love it.
OQP, only quality people, that you can look at your circle and that can show so much about you, like who you have around you. So during this time, you might have to take a step back from some of your relationships. And I would say the third way is to, there's still lots of stigma in the Black community, especially about, seeking therapy or seeking help from a mental health expert. I think therapy is one of the best investments that anybody can make in their life. And there should be no shame about it. Like for me, during this time, I've kept up with my sessions because just to talk about how I'm feeling, just to talk through stuff, just to have someone who tells me things I don't want to hear sometimes. The one who holds me accountable for things that I say want to see happen and I'm not doing anything to see it happen. Yeah. And just to help, what is one of my coping mechanisms during this time, and we all don't have to come out of this depressed. We all don't have to come out of this, anxious. Like, just put the steps in place to help to protect your mental health. And you might find 3 other ways that might work better for you. I've been praying more, and that has also been helping me through this time. But I think maybe it was like 3 or 4 years ago, somebody on social media had posted that his mother, who was like in her like early 60s, who was a pastor, had actually committed suicide. And I was like, why is a pastor committing suicide? But I mean, since then we've heard stories of even like spiritual leaders.
That's the check on your strong friend.
Yeah, even the spiritual leaders have those moments, have struggles with depression. And I realized that as a Christian community, like, we don't put enough emphasis on mental health. We over spiritualize some things, and we cause people to feel ashamed and to be embarrassed to seek help. But Dr. Sherry, she always says, God, therapy, and medications can coexist. So do whatever you need to do to get the help that you need, because we don't want to only take care of our physical health, but we also got to put emphasis and invest time in taking care of our emotional and mental health too. So
I totally agree. I agree with everything you said. Debbie Downer is the worst buzzkill ever. And I mean, look, and you can have your moments, but if that's the way you always are, I hope that a good friend would tell you that you are Debbie Downer and nobody wants to be around that, so that you can seek the help that you need. Because maybe, I just got off this whole bipolar discussion with Black Doctor, but maybe maybe you are bipolar and you're going through your 2-week phase of depression. I don't know, but somebody should tell you that you need to straighten that out. And unfortunately, if you didn't have it together before this happened, now is a great time to get it together, because if you don't, I don't know what could happen. It could really not look so good for you. So please do not be embarrassed to call, to find out who do you need to call or where you need to get the help that you need. Because my God, I mean, what is the alternative? Life is really a great thing. It really is. But if you're miserable, you need to look at, why are you miserable? And if it's so simple as a chemical imbalance in your brain, let's find the pill and take it.
And the thing is, like, we're all
to the person.
Yeah, we're all struggling during this time. So it's just not you. We're all struggling.
Right.
But just that some of us cope a little bit better, or are coping a little bit better.
Yeah.
So it might not even be a pill. You might just need to look at your coping mechanisms.
Right.
And try to find healthier ones or sturdier ones,
Or you need to talk to someone who can help you to figure these things out. You might not need medication, but you need to talk it through, because everyone in your circle is miserable. Well, then those aren't the people to talk to. You need to talk to someone who can say, well, why don't you try this or do this or pick this new hobby, or what is it that you like to do? Oh, well, you can do this, and I bet you'll find joy in that because it's very similar to that, or whatever it is. I think that I agree with Kelly. Investing in mental health is one of the best things I ever did. I think that I would probably easily be 350 pounds, and I'm only 4'11" right now if I hadn't invested in mental health. I invested in mental health and realized that eating my feelings was not a good idea. And mind you, I am a doctor and I knew better, but sitting and talking to her every week, I want to say I went twice a week. I think so. Sitting and talking to her twice a week for, I think it was 2 or 3 years I went, literally changed the trajectory of the rest of my life. I no longer go to food for comfort. I figured out coping mechanisms to cope with different things in my life. So when I had, somebody very close to me die, rather than eat myself, because I could easily put on 20 pounds in a day, 2 days easily, rather than do that, I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to deal with this. We're going to feel the pain, but then we're going to get through this. And you get through it. But you need to talk to somebody sometimes. And like I said, as a doctor, you'd think I knew, but I needed to talk to someone too. So you just have to figure it out. And hopefully you're not by yourself. And so there's somebody a friend, a family member, someone that cares and can say, hey, you know, or you can call them and say, hey, I'm not feeling so great.
Yeah, please speak up. Please share about it. Please tell someone. Definitely. Anyways, thanks for tuning in once again. Just want to talk a little bit about mental health for Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. So we will see you guys next Friday. Bye-bye now.
Bye.